Ma.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Animesh Baby Parents. We are here today with Vir, Linden, and Carrie Tatsu. And I just wanted to invite them to our tea party and talk about a little bit about the Animesh for Second Life from Linden Labs. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it and to thank these two people from the bottom of my heart and from all of you because of the fact that I saw them work so hard. They had a thing called Creators Content Meetings, and these two worked so hard to get Animesh uh, working in Second Life. Veer, how many years was Animesh in the making?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't remember exactly how long it was start to finish. It wasn't as big as Bento, I don't think, but maybe
Okay.
it might have been a year and a half or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, and many people had been waiting for it, but you guys both, I'm actually, Vera, I've never heard anybody talk so respectfully to people. I love that about you and in these meetings, and I didn't understand anything you guys were talking about, but I just appreciate both of you so much in how we get uh, our babies. We have animesh trees, animals, and it's changed everybody's life and it's worldwide. So just thank you guys for working so hard to make it happen. There's very few things that I've witnessed that has been as big as this. And so that's all I wanted to say. So whatever you guys want to say.
Well, that's great to hear. And yeah, thank you. You don't really know how this stuff is going to work out when you're first working on it, and
Yes.
once you see how it kind of literally comes to life in this case. It's that's when it really makes a difference to people, and that's super exciting.
Yes.
Really glad that it's been taken up by so many communities and is being applied in so many.
And it just means so much to people in their lives because it's a extension of our role play, but it's something that everybody can love or be excited by and share. And in these times especially, this is just fantastic. So I just thank you, and everybody knows how Carrie worked so hard because in her life it meant so much, especially for to be able to create this particular product, the Animesh baby. So just thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you for that kindness. I came back. I'll tell Veer. I don't know if you know this, Veer, but I actually left Second Life for a couple of years and only came back because Animesh was then a possibility. So I got to thank you guys, the
Oh, that's
Linden
great.
Labs. Yeah, I came back specifically to make this to work specifically on Animesh. Otherwise, that was a big reason why I came back to do this as my full-time job again. So if the technology wasn't here, there would be no way I would have been able to make these kinds of products with my team. So it was really Linden Labs that allowed us to push the developments of Second Life forward in ways that allowed us to create really interesting, not just me, like there's animals, there's hair, there's all sorts of things that are really fascinating that people are developing because of these technologies. Um, yeah, but if we can also talk about the way the avatar is changing too, uh, that's like
Your
bakes on mesh.
groundbreaking product, you mean?
But it's not really about it. So it's not necessarily about my product because I think this is going to happen. Not, I mean, I did launch a product, but I'm not just trying to. I'm not saying that for me to boost my product. I want to
No,
really,
I
I
want
want
you
to.
to.
So what I'd like to talk about is, and I'm sure Veer, this you'll appreciate this. So bakes on mesh really is a big game changer regarding these avatars. like because Bakes on Mesh now exists, we don't have to anymore have to have 3 layers of mesh. It's fantastic. Like you can have my avatar right now is one mesh, it's one object. I have one additional arm, that's beside the point, but ultimately I can use a Bakes on Mesh alpha system that, again, the Linden Labs really pushed through to allow for a much more efficient avatar. And
Huh.
I've been, Vera, I don't know, I've been playing around with this. It's really terrific. Like we can have now tattoos on the left side and on the right, exclusively Bakes on Mesh. And it's really helped, I think, make the avatar lighter and more efficient and easier to use. Like we don't have to use the alpha system where you click out chunks of your body anymore because
Yeah.
now it's all Bakes on Mesh. You can have painted on clothing now that will be layered on. And all, like, so if somebody adds a tattoo and somebody else adds another layer of a bikini and somebody else adds another layer of gloves, all that, it does not add complexity to your avatar. And so that's huge. Like it's really a big deal. And so yeah, I wanted just to say that because you guys got through Bakes on Mesh, it's allowed me to make like I only say that because I'm outside of the realm of animesh now. I'm working primarily on working with Bakes on Mesh and pushing the limits of that. So that's where my head's been at. So I just want to say like it's allowed us to create a much lighter avatar, and not just me. I think it's going to change the way the grid works and allow people to have lighter avatars because there's no need at this point to make an avatar that has a million polygons. Like you don't
Yes.
have to do that.
Yes.
So you know, that's one thing that I just want to say is that what's nice is when the Lindens and Vir and his team make these changes technologically, it allows me and my team and other creators to make products that are more efficient and work better for the
Yeah.
community. So that's really the next change in things I think I'm really happy about. So yes, I'm selling an avatar. I don't know if you know this, Vir, I'm selling an avatar.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm selling a pregnant mother, but through exploring how to make a pregnant mother, what I really wanted to do was figure out how to make a very efficient avatar that's one object. And what we were able to do was really uniquely figure out how to apply the Bakes on Mesh technology. And so and that's exactly what we did, and it works great. Like it totally works
Yeah.
great.
Well, that's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, Bakes on Mesh gets us into an interesting area because um, there's not sort of one standard for avatars, right? Originally there was the system avatar, and the baking process was really designed for the system avatar for helping you to apply these sort of painted on clothing and tattoos and stuff to that system avatar. And then over the years we got to the point where I would say the vast majority of people were using mesh avatars that weren't using the original system avatar anymore, and so they weren't really able to take advantage of those baking capabilities anymore, and they had to go with much more complex solutions. So for Bakes on Mesh, we wanted to just make it easier to do. It sounds like the kinds of things that you're doing to be able to apply these kinds of textures in a more flexible way to your existing mesh avatars. But it's tricky because there isn't one standard, and some some of the avatars out there will supporting it, and some will end up going with other solutions, and it makes it a trickier. It's a trickier process than just sort of okay, here's this new feature that people can use if they want. This it affects people have to kind of decide to adopt it
Yes.
and pull it into their existing content and all that.
Yes. And that's what I noticed at the creators content meeting, that a lot of the creators were a little bit afraid of Bakes on Mesh first starting off.
So I think with any new technology, people may be adverse to it because they're not used to it or they don't understand it. But ultimately, I think that if they realize that it provides a better better experience for them overall, that when they teleport to a sim, it takes less time for all the avatars to render.
Yes.
Getting dressed is faster. Once they understand those capabilities, I think it will be more widely adapted. Again, like having a tattoo on your left that's different on your right, because you can assign an arm BOM to one arm, again, makes things more just much better. So Vera, my hope is that like the community will know that, and then they'll see that by how easy it is to use once they basically understand it. So I do think that, like, over time, like, it did take time for people to change from the standard avatar and then to mesh, and then it takes time for people to adapt. But I think once they see the advantages,
Yeah.
then they change. So
Yeah.
I mean, I can show you. Do you guys want me to show you like what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
how
That'd be
they're
neat. Yeah.
yeah, let me show you. So okay, so I'm wearing a dress. Okay, now if you look, the biggest issue with clothing and avatars is basic. Oops, am I clipping now? Okay, the biggest issue with avatars and clothing is you don't want your skin to clip through the dress.
Yeah.
That's with everything. So right now, many avatars have an alpha. I don't know how much you follow this, Vera, but they have this 3D HUD where you rotate your body in 3D and you have to individually click chunks of your mesh out. And what that means is what they're doing is they're importing a very complex mesh that has like 80 pieces to it. And so that in itself is unideal because it's not one mesh. And on top of that, using a 3D animated HUD takes a while for the end user to use. It's every time they change the clothes, they got to click a chunk out. So what we did, and I really do believe that other people are going to do this as well, and this is why I'm talking about it, not just because of me, but I think that this is a game changer for the whole community. So if I take off my dress, I'm not going to be naked, don't worry. If you see, there's a baby in here, but let me hide that. I'll hide my fetus. Sorry about that. So if you see here, see how the alpha is perfectly cut out to where my dress was?
Yeah.
So that is a big deal, because what that means is a clothing creator, this is why Bakes on Mesh matters. It's not just for layering tattoos. Because of this, I can custom make an alpha that fits every outfit I wear. So now all I have to do is click a button on my HUD. I'm not gonna I don't want to be naked on here, so I'm not gonna. Oh, I'm not naked actually. I'm wearing a Bakes on Mesh tattoo, I think. So watch. If I click a button on my HUD, hold on a second, and let me take off my alpha layer. You'll see that the alpha is gone. So let me take off my alpha layer. It really should be gone with me just clicking it. And so it's a very, very simple process of just, I didn't have to go and individually click out pieces of my avatar.
Right.
And what I'm wearing now is actually a Bakes on Mesh painted on underwear underneath it. And so that's it. Like, there's nothing else to it. Like I'm such a fan of the technology that Linden's made because of this capability, because it's that easy. It's like 2 seconds. I'll put the alpha back on. I'm wearing my system alpha layer.
And it does not.
Some people have. Sorry, go ahead, Sky.
No, go ahead. I'm done. That's it.
No, it doesn't look painted on. It looks like a real clothing.
Right, but I mean, like, the alpha system is just that alone with Bakes on Mesh is a big game changer. So go ahead, Vera. What were you going to say? Sorry.
Oh yeah, so I think one concern some people have had about Bakes on Mesh, and Sky, I'm sorry if I'm kind of hijacking your topic here, but one concern some people have had is if it's hard to, they sort of can't change the alpha from inside their HUD, right? They need to use the separate outfit system, and so that's trickier for people to learn how to do. Carrie, how big a deal do you think that is, and how much would it help if you could actually like do the alpha manipulation via HUD in some way?
So it would be nice if I could have a script that allows me to apply that alpha system layer. I think that would be nice. But I've done multiple videos on how to do this and people seem to understand it pretty quickly. It's really just 2 steps. So all I really do is right click where the alpha system layer, and then on my HUD I have a button called alpha mode, and I set the mode for my body to be in a mask mode. So it's not, I mean, it would be nice to have a script that allows me to apply it, but honestly, I mean, I think this is a huge step forward compared to trying to individually slice out pieces of my body. People don't necessarily like, wearing an extra system layer just because they're not used to it. But I think once clothing creators pack it with the clothing, I think it'll be fine because their alpha system layer is cut out specific to the outfit that's being worn. So I don't see a big problem with it. I think that once people understand how it works, I think that they can adapt to it pretty easily. I don't,
Okay,
I don't,
well
yeah.
that's that's good to know.
I've, so far the people I've talked to about it who've been using it, because I've had the product out about 3 weeks, so it's pretty new. The feedback has been, oh my God, this is so much easier. Oh my God, I don't have to wait for my HUD to load. So I think that especially once clothing designers, and I don't know if they're going to pick it up right away. Again, people are resistant to change, but I think once clothing designers or users see that it's so much easier to use and all the clothing designer has to do is make an alpha mask to include with the outfit, uh, I, I, I think that it'll change over time. I can't guarantee that. I don't know everybody in the community, but I think it's a really great system. Also,
Hey,
Veer, one
hang
more
on one
thing. Yeah,
second.
sorry.
That's okay.